Hey everybody, Dr. Mike here, Premier Podcast. Welcome. Well, we've got an important week coming up here this next week in the office. It is Food Drive Week, and Food Drive Week is one of our probably most popular and biggest events of the year. We open up our new patient times and our office to people who want to bring their friends, families, members in to be evaluated, and we discount all of our exam, x-rays, any necessary scans, if necessary, for a bag of non-perishable groceries. And then we donate that to the Hamilton County Food Bank. So this is a big event. People I know typically tend to wait to refer people, especially friends and family members. They've been trying to get here for a really long time to come in for this event. We have limited times, limited space, but it's from November 11th through November 15th. It's only 1 week only, and it's usually a very popular, big event in our office, and that's what we're going to talk about today. If you're one of these people that have been, that are a practice member of our office, you've been here for years or months, or if you're new, we have a lot of people that have been here for 10, 15, 20 some odd years. And most of the time when you're here that long, you've really got to experience really some true healing and the true benefits of what care provides for you when you're under care for that long period of time. You get to see infections go away very, very quickly. Healing happens rapidly. Most people who have been under care for that long have gotten on, 4, 5, 6 different medications. You don't get to experience that at an office that focuses mainly on the treatment of symptoms or the treatment of pain only. You have to be under a corrective protocol to where your body actually can to get to the point where it can do its own healing. And a lot of that takes some time, takes repetition, especially if you've had a pattern stored in your nerve system for 30, 40, 50 years. It does take time. But regardless of where I'm going with this is we have patients and practice members that have been patients for a long period of time that have desperately tried to get their friends and family members under care or get them into our office to be evaluated. And for whatever reason, most of these people don't budge. And I'm here to tell you that if you're one of these practice members who've been trying to get people here for a really long time and you're really emphatic about trying to explain to them how we take care of the nerve system and how great this office is, great the docs are and the team, I want you to understand that it's not your fault that you can't get these people here. You have been under care for a long period of time, and you're in the process of allowing your body to really be free from damaged nerve interference for years. And this has been developing in your body since you've been born. Nerve damage to your system is nothing merely more than an adaptation from your brain and nerve system response to life and life stressors along the way. And a lot of that has been cumulative. And most of you who have come to our practice have come in here with symptoms initially, because that's usually probably about 80% of the people that come to our office initially, they come because they're symptomatic and they want to resolve it without using drugs. The problem is that that's what gets people into the door. And then when they understand how the nervous system works and they understand that these patterns that have been building for decades have been underlying, and the symptom is just kind of the tip of the iceberg, if you will, that their body has reached a threshold where it can no longer adapt to stress anymore, and that's why their body gives them symptoms as a feedback mechanism to let them know that their body cannot handle it anymore. When we start this journey with practice members, initially a lot of their symptoms typically tend to go away, but once you understand the principle of caring for the system, the way it's designed to be cared for, and that it needs maintenance and it needs care, not treatment, but care. And it needs it because you don't get rid of stress. You don't get rid of toxicity. You don't get rid of emotional stress. You don't get rid of physical stress. You don't get rid of chemical stress or environmental stress you don't get rid of this stuff ever, which means that your nerve system is either always going to create the pattern that you grew up with or the pattern that we're creating for you now. And because practice members don't understand that, they don't understand that, well, I need to be here because I need to care for my system. Most people, when they eventually hear you telling other patients or telling people that are not practice members that you need to be here, they don't usually act until the crisis hits. And even when the crisis hits, they'll try to do everything they can to try to make sure that they don't have to wind up in a doctor's office. The things that practice members that are not patients yet don't get is they don't get that the body tries to maintain a sense of balance or homeostasis. They don't get that when you get an infection, you get a fever to fight it off. What they've learned, and what most of us have learned throughout our lifespan, is that when you get a fever, it's bad, it's not good, and that we need an Advil or Tylenol or something like that to lower the fever. And that's what we've all grown up with. We've grown up with this medical model of care that if we are symptomatic, that it's not good and we need to take something for it. And that's in every realm, right? Even in our WellCare checkups that we go to when we go to our doctors, they're really not designed to see how well you are or how well you're functioning. They're really designed to see whether or not you have early signs or symptoms of pathology or disease, which inevitably leads to early treatment. Spine, brain, and nerve system care and maintenance of it is a foreign topic in our society. It is not even, we have not even reached anywhere close to the tipping point where this becomes societal norms. The whole premise of our body's ability to heal itself is such an obtuse viewpoint in our way of thinking that we've just been told all our lives that we are genetically just too weak. We just can't do it. We're unstable. And eventually what happens is as you get older, you get sicker. And when you get sicker, you have to take something. And you've been sold this, that you need a drug or a vaccine or a surgery or a shot to heal or survive in this type of culture. Even when you travel to different countries, they give you shots just to make sure that you prevent getting diseases in other cultures. The medical culture doesn't believe that you can heal or adapt to any virus, germ, or infection on your own, which is why they spend no money investing in research and wellness care. There's no money spent on the research into how to make your system stronger. This is also why your insurance doesn't cover vitamins, your insurance doesn't cover healthy food, doesn't cover gym memberships, and most of the time doesn't cover chiropractic care, especially if you're in the right office. Sick care is big business, folks, and it makes a ton of money annually. In addition to this, we have 60 to 65,000 chiropractors in the United States, and less than 5% of them focuses on corrective, neurologically based corrective care. You go down the street and they're shooting you up with lasers. You go down the other street, they're shooting you up with stem wave. My profession is very conflicted. We have an identity crisis in chiropractic. Is that the whole profession is probably the only profession in the world that cannot agree on a sole premise of how to take care of people. And if we did, I will tell you right now, we would reach the tipping point and there'd be a lot healthier people in this world. In our world, your health is dictated by your insurance. So if your insurance doesn't cover it, most people don't do it. And the reality is that insurance, and if you're under corrective-based chiropractic care, they don't mix. It's like oil and water. They don't jive. That, of course, is if it's your goal to get your body to heal and function 100%. If your goal is to try to get you to feel better temporarily, then you can go to any particular office. They'll take your insurance for 12 visits. And then as soon as you're out of pain, they won't see you again. In fact, it's illegal for them to see you again because it's not medically necessary and they won't take care of you. But your goal should never be to try to cover up the symptom, drug or non-drug. Your goal should be to create restoration to your health and to your system. And really the goal here, think about it, is to really never have to use your health insurance. Because your health insurance is used only when you are sick and not when you are healthy. So and I tell patients that all the time, they think I'm crazy, but you should never strive to use your health insurance. So if you've been to other offices and you found yourself here and you're reading this or listening to this on our podcast, you know that we are different. But I'm gonna spew some facts to you. Number one, brain and nerve system control the function of every cell, tissue, organ, and system in the body. Hormones, digestion, blood pressure, immune function, all of it controlled. Look it up. Number two, stress creates a change in the brain and nervous system, an adaptation to the brain and nervous system, resulting in a electrical disconnect between the brain and body, and it creates interference within the nervous system. This disconnect creates an alteration in how you function, how your body heals, how you stay in balance, and it creates an adaptation to the way the body was originally designed to function, heal, and work. Because stress starts in utero when conception occurs, most of these alterations have been adapting and forming from the time that you've been in womb, and most of the time goes undetectable. And it may show up as weakness in certain areas, but most people do not correlate this because they think that chiropractic is solely related to pain and how you feel, which is not true either. When you see a corrective pattern-based chiropractor, the goal is to find and locate the habits and patterns of dysfunction that your body's been creating. Keyword there. Goals to find and locate habits and patterns of dysfunction that your body has been storing and creating. And the goal of care is to reestablish healthy new neural patterns and pathways through repetition and consistency so the body can actually relearn how to stay in balance, how to heal, and how to adapt. The goal of care should never be to try to treat a symptom or a condition. Symptoms are an outward expression of underlying dysfunctional patterns, and symptoms are the tip of the iceberg, the effect of poor health. They are not the cause of poor health. So the longer you consistently try to treat symptoms, you're just spinning your wheels. Healthy neural patterns and connections between the brain and nerve system lead to inevitably a balance within homeostasis and autoregulation, meaning how the body functions and automatically regulates itself. This connection also allows the body to be optimal in its ability to self-heal, self-regulate, and self-adapt. And that is the goal of Truth Healthcare. This is the reason why we have events like this. So Food Drive, just to reiterate, November 11th through November 15th. During this week only, friends and family that have not been exposed to the clinic and this type of care are eligible for a full neurological examination, thermal studies, x-rays if necessary, for the cost of a bag of non-perishable goods. That bag of non-perishable goods gets donated to the Hamilton County Food Bank. No strings attached to this. So I'm going to tell you that if you have a family member or a friend that is in need of a change in their healthcare, a change in their journey, or a change in the pivot in which their body is working, this is your opportunity to get them checked at virtually no cost to them. So my reference is this: please spread the word, get your family and friends on board, get them checked during this week. We have limited times, limited availability, and it's from November 11th through November 15th. That is our food drive week. So I hope to see you and your friends and family in the office, and look forward to seeing you guys on your health journey. So this is Dr. Mike signing off. We'll see you soon.